Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. The gang's all here and I'm here and we're all here and I'm looking to see how many people are out there.
Who's here?
Patrick's workshop is out there in the chat already, and so is Ken McCrory. Oh, Ken McCrory sent me yeah, I remember now. Hold on. I'm tangled up here. That's not a good thing. I want to pull this cord out. But Ken McCrory sent me a picture. He cut the... there, untangled. I didn't want to get it all tangled up on my wheel, on my chair. He sent me a picture of the eagle flag scroll saw pattern that I put out in my newsletter the other day. And he did a pretty good job, so I'm going to show that off, Ken, if you don't mind. Looks real good. He actually painted it. I didn't paint mine. I put stain on the backer. It's red mahogany. Everybody said it looks like walnut. I took it to our woodworking club last night. Actually Thursday night. And they said it looked like walnut. And I said, that's red mahogany stain, Mindwax. So but anyway, and just left the... All right, who's trying to call me?
Yeah, really. At least it's not me.
My bad. I unplugged my phone and hit the button.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, so, but, and just I was going to stain the front part of it. I don't even have it. It's still in my truck because I took it to the woodworking club meeting Thursday night and showed it off. But I was going to stain the front like a light oak, but after I looked at it and attached it to the front of the backer just to get for an idea what it looked like, I'm going to leave it natural. So there'd be a nice contrast in there. Anyway, Ken, you butchered it. I didn't think you butchered it. I thought, look here. We'll go ahead and look at it. Let me get it pulled up here. Give me a second. Personally, I thought it was pretty good, Ken. And there we have it.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, he did the he painted the star area blue and then the flag area red and the black across the letters. So I think it looks good.
Yeah. I think it
Real
looks
good. So that's what the story did. Luana Pierce is out there. Enderman, Michelle Marcoux, Chris Nealand, Gage, my grandson, Gage Knowles is out there in the chat. Hi, Gage. You got to.
Gage.
Yeah, I've been giving him some time for. Let me stop screen sharing. I've been giving him some time for his arm to heal, to have him back on the show. The reason being is I told him the next time he comes, he's supposed to come up earlier in the afternoon. We're supposed to do some scrolling here in the shop and have the show that night. So he's still in a cast. I haven't talked to him or my daughter. And Gage, do you still have the long cast or the short cast? Did they move it to the short cast? Let's see if he posts that. Aussie Man's out there. Herb Hooper. Luana Pierce. Path 1961.
I want to say it's not too early to give a thumbs up.
No, it's never too early for thumbs up. So all y'all watching out there, go ahead and give us a thumbs up if you don't mind. And I'm checking over here over on Facebook. We should be live over here on Facebook.
Oh, there we are. Yeah.
We are live on Twitch, by the way.
Okay.
Did you record that and it's on a loop now, or?
What's that? Who are you talking to?
Your saxophone. That's actual Russ playing that.
Yeah, no, it's not me playing.
Don't play sax.
You could have went along with it.
I do play sax.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not me playing that. Yes, I do play tenor sax. I learned to play in junior high school in 7th grade. I played 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade.
Oh, you got to play for us some night.
I continued to play for a while. I continued to play afterwards, but I haven't played in years. Yeah, I was talking about the other night. I'm going to see about putting it in the shop. It needs some repairs and have them do a once over and breaking it out of the mothballs and see if I can play it. All right, tonight we have Jacob from, and I'm not even going to pronounce your name again because I know I'm going to butcher it. Go ahead and tell me how you say it.
It's Jacob Anguiano.
Anguiano. Jacob Anguiano from Native Son Wood Art. He's on tonight as our guest. We're going to be talking to him in just a little bit. I don't really have any. And you know what? Last week I said I was going to do a giveaway. We never did that. So y'all got to remind me tonight toward the end of the show at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock to do the giveaway. So don't forget, I'm putting you in charge, Al. If you forget, then you're fired.
I'm in trouble. So does that mean we're going to have 2 giveaways or just one?
No, just one.
I tried, folks. I tried.
Yeah, just one. And y'all are eligible also, everybody that's on the panel tonight. Anyway, DeVolvo Technologies for web design, development, and hosting. Visit devolvo.com. FastCap, innovative products for the professional woodworker. Go to fastcap.com. Rockler, 60 years in woodworking. Create with confidence. Visit rockler.com. Bearwood Supply Company, your best choice for hard-to-find woodworking supplies. Go to bearwood.com. Klingspor, the sanding specialist. Woodworkingshop.com. Seiko, the scroll saw specialist. Seiko.com. And Scrollnado, dust collection for your scroll saw. And you can find them on Amazon. I just got a big supply of scroll saw blades from Bearwood Supply Company the other day, and I've been using their Pegasus, and I like their Pegasus, don't get me wrong, but they're what I want to call, it's not user specific, they're kind of like project specific, because if you're using like a real hard wood or a real thick wood, the Pegasus does really, really good on those projects. It's actually a more of aggressive blade. They break a little bit easier than the Nequa or the Flying Dutchman, but I personally like the Flying Dutchman, which their Nequa blades is supposed to be the equivalent, or it's supposed to be the mother company that made Flying Dutchman. Flying Dutchman was just a brand name for the scroll saw blades. Supposedly were made by Nequa. That's what I've been told. I haven't never done any research to see if that's true or not. But I did get a supply of Nequa blades that Stephen wants me to try and see how I like them. And I'm going to be doing that here in the next few weeks, giving them their run through their pace, see how they're doing. So, all right. Other than that, I don't really have anything say other than if you got my newsletter, you got that pattern that Ken McCroy cut out, and so that was in the newsletter. My newsletter comes out once a month, and I try to have a pattern every month. I'm not Steve Good. I can't produce a pattern a day. I do good to produce a pattern a month. And if you would like to be on my newsletter, all you have to do is go to simplywoodencreations.com and look across the bar at the top, and you'll see newsletter. Go over there and click on and sign up for it. Other than that, let's let everybody introduce themselves. And first is Mr. Paul Corliss.
I'm first.
Yes, you were first.
Paul Corliss from Paul's Messy Workshop. Paul's Messy Workshop on YouTube, on Instagram, and sometimes paulsmessyworkshop.com. And Russ, thanks for including my project and my picture in your newsletter.
You're welcome. I saw that and I was like, well, first off, he got a shout out from Steve Good. So
yep.
I was like, yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to put, and then Russ Meadows is not on tonight. He's not doing real good. I hope he don't mind me telling this, but he got into some poison ivy. So Russ is not feeling good. Hope you get to feeling better, Russ. Get well soon. But he did a beautiful CNC thing of Jesus, his head with a cross behind it, that with a crown of thorns on it. Oh, that was really pretty. So I included that in the newsletter too. But yeah, you're welcome.
That was just amazing. Cool.
Yeah. But you're welcome, Paul. I think that was a cool project, and especially a great project because you made it for your granddaughter. So
yep.
Al.
Yes, Al Forte, Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop. Actually, Kilroy's Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Now on Twitter, all you have to do is look for me as Kilroy79763. I need to update my logo. I'm participating in the Makers Media T-shirt deal, which you can get your logo put on there for $10. I mean, that's super cheap. And Steve asked me, "Got a new logo since you changed your name?" No, I don't. So I have my old square logo. But anyway, Kilroy79763 all over the place. Thank you for having me here, and glad to see everyone out there.
You're welcome. I had to get up and turn off my heater. It was just a little chilly here in the shop.
I thought you were leaving, Russ.
Oh,
Oh,
please.
yes, and it doesn't take long with that big heater in this shop to warm up, especially when it's not cold. So
In Florida.
Florida.
Really?
Florida.
Really? Just put a sweater on and go with it.
Oh, shut up.
Maybe try some pants.
It's
Pants
funny
might work.
because my
We've got,
mom. It's funny because my mom moved here to the desert. And I mean, it gets 100-degree weather here, but she's moving back because it's too cold in Odessa. Going back to Lakewood.
She is moving back to Florida?
Yeah, that's why I'll be going down there. Starting to get down there Tuesday and be there a couple of days.
Oh, okay. Scott Leach, Sterling Davis, Angela Corliss, George Hatch, David Kepi, and Glenna Bashirs are all over on Facebook.
Hey, whatever Glenna Bashir says, it's not true.
George Hatch, how you doing, George? He's over there on Facebook watching us. George is a good friend of mine. I've known George. He was the principal at Mulberry High School, and all 7 of our children graduated from Mulberry High School. So I've known him a long time, and he's also he's retired as principal. And he's the mayor of Mulberry, and he's also the president of my woodworking club. So,
by the way, I want to say one more thing. Jimbo, sorry to hear that you're going to have radiation treatment next week. I was really looking forward to meeting you and stuff too. But take care of yourself, buddy.
James Parker?
Yeah, we were going to meet up, and he said he starts radiation treatment this week, and I have to go every day. So I can understand. I really can.
I didn't know you had to start radiation, James. I guess this has come up real quick because the last time I haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks, but last time I talked to you didn't say anything. But yeah, I hope you get better, James.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dixon.
Hey everybody, I'm Dixon Hoffman. You can find me at hoffmansignsandDecals.com. Sitting here in Wisconsin in the cold weather.
Jim.
Jim Bashir has got a small YouTube channel called Driveway Workshop. Russ Meadows, if you're out there, I've got a stack of painting pyramids for you. I didn't forget about you, so I'll mail those out on Monday to you. Looking forward to talking with Jacob.
Yes. Chris.
Again, Chris here from the Old Cranky Workshop. I'm on Facebook and YouTube. And tomorrow, Mother Nature is throwing us a bone. It's supposed to be in the 60 degrees. So I'm going to reopen the shop and start getting things in order for the season. So right now, no projects on the table, but I got something lined up already for the pallet challenge. So
great. Yeah, I know you're chomping at the bit to get back out there.
I'm going stir crazy here this winter. It's been not a lot of snow, just too damn cold to be out there.
Yeah. Well, when you move to Florida, you will be able to be in your shop unless the hurricane blows you away anytime.
I'm going to stay in my shop even in a hurricane.
Yep. You can be in there anytime you want because you don't have that problem.
Absolutely. And I'll be retired.
Yep.
So.
Brenda.
Thanks, Russ. I'm Brenda G of Brenda G's Designs. You'll find me all over the internet as Brenda G's Designs. I primarily have a YouTube channel where I do comedy and crafting. And I do a live stream on Thursday nights with Matt Haas on my channel called Mind Equals Blown. We have a lot of fun. So I hope everybody will come over there and join us. And I would like to wish a happy birthday to Chris today.
Yeah, I was going to
Thank
say
you.
that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are we going to sing happy birthday?
Oh, we can. Do you think we
On
can all
key, on
coordinate
key,
together?
please.
I was going to say, do you think we could all
That's
coordinate
asking
good
for too
enough
much.
together? All right,
No,
let's go.
man, that-
1, 2, 3. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to
You're a
you.
little flat there, Jim.
Happy
birthday.
birthday, dear Chris.
Ahern.
Happy birthday to you.
You can't stay here, but you got to go, or something like that.
Yeah. Hey, the good thing is Jim was muted the whole time, so it worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
After this last surgery on my neck, I can't sing anymore anyway, so you didn't want to hear that.
Can you still tap dance?
I never did in the first place, so
Okay.
but I'm willing to learn. So
My son Corey Clarity is out there in.
Brenda, I gotta say, at first I saw the laugh. I thought you said you're all over the internet and you do arts and crafts. Like, really?
God.
Well, it's a matter of opinion. You know?
Exactly.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Exactly.
Anyway, Corey's out there. My son is in the chat over on Facebook. Jeffrey Allen Kaufman, Dale Thorpe, and let me go through. Luana Pierce is, and she says, "Happy birthday, Chris."
Yeah, see that. Thank you, Luana.
Yep, Chris Nealon, Ken McCrory. All those are out there in the chat. James Parker, Dave Hart. All those are in the chat over on YouTube. And I don't think we have anybody over on Twitch. So
Nope. Yep. There's only one guy, and that's me over there on Twitch.
we
There's
usually
only room for
know
one
when I
person on
get like
Twitch.
Sunday, when I get the thing report from it, there's usually 4 people have watched. And I know you're one of those 4 usually, Al, but there's usually 4 people watching over there.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I actually streamed on YouTube last Sunday and on Twitch, and had more on Twitch than on YouTube. But
cool.
Go figure. Hey, I Rescue Minpins is out there on Twitch. Hey Sid, how you doing?
Cool. All right, so Jacob from Native Son Wood Art, how you been doing?
I'm good.
You're good.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So Jacob has a YouTube channel, and he's also on Facebook. So I saw him. He's been posting on Worldwide Woodworkers and Makers on YouTube.
Yes.
Facebook page, and I saw him and got in contact with him. Actually, it was kind of the last minute. Actually, I had somebody who was supposed to have been on today, but their wife told them that they had a wedding they were supposed to attend, so he had to back.
What's up with that?
I've had a couple of those times, so I can't really laugh.
Yeah. Well, my wife does our calendar, and trust me, before I make any decisions to do anything, and I let her do that because she does a fantastic job with it. I forget all the time. I ask her, do we have anything planned? Trust me. So,
amen. Preach to that, sir.
Yep, and I very appreciate it because she's into that. She works for a company, and she has to have everything scheduled and written down. And so, yeah, baby, what do we got?
You know, you can make a family Google Calendar account, and it works out pretty good.
Why? I have my wife doing it.
It keeps you out of trouble. I don't know.
I'm not in trouble. I'll let her do it. That way, if it screws up, I just go, she did it, not me.
Yep.
I go like this all the time.
Yep. So Jacob,
my girlfriend, she makes all of our plans, but then she complains like, "How come you don't plan anything, though? Because you always plan it all."
Yeah.
Plans it gets messed up.
So how long you been doing woodworking, Jacob?
For the past 2 years.
2 years. Is that about as long as you've had your YouTube channel? No, you've only had that about a year.
It's been a year and some change. So I've been maybe not necessarily just strictly woodworking, but I've been, I've always wanted to do a little bit more with my hands. We talked in the pre-show, like I'm a chef by trade, so I've been, that takes a certain level of creativity that I enjoy. My grandfather was a carpenter, so he did cabinetry and carpentry and all those things. So is my uncle. My other uncle, he's an airbrush artist, and he airbrushed swordfish bills down here in South Florida. And my mom, she actually does leather working. So I was always brought up with a lot of, creative people and people that were really good with their hands. And that kind of was instilled into me. And I didn't want to do like a cooking channel because that felt more like bringing my work home. So I was always interested in woodworking and learning a new skill and, new techniques and just learning new things and wanted to, make things with my hands. So I just tried my hand at it. I got some advice from my grandfather and just started doing it.
Cool. So you have a lot of people that's creative in your family. Well, being a chef is creative. You have to cook. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah.
That's very creative. But what really though is the one thing that was instrumental in getting you into woodworking?
I'd say instrumental, and there's things that I wanted like in my space, but I couldn't really. Well, I could buy them, but I also didn't want to, like, some of the things I wanted were extremely expensive. Then I always found that it was cheaper and like not necessarily easier, but just to make it yourself. So I kind of enjoyed the challenge of, trying to be able to make it myself. And so I've looked a bunch of videos on YouTube, and I use that as a major research tool even today for a lot of things that I do. And it's also, like I said, my grandfather was a big inspiration for me. He was a carpenter, and we would talk, at length. He would tell me stories of things that he would build and experiences that he had doing it. And so I feel like that was a big inspiration for me, was my grandfather.
Yeah, my grandfather was a carpenter and my father was a carpenter, so I kind of took it up by just everybody being in woodworking around in my family. Anybody else got any questions?
Jacob, did you ever get a chance to sit in with your grandfather and work with him?
No, I didn't. By the time that I started doing this, I was, had my own motivation to get into it, and I kind of had my own space to work. He's already, long and retired, and he's actually with my mother at her place right now. So he's not really mobile right at the moment, but I still enjoy talking with him and, learning things from that he likes to tell me about. So I never got a chance to actually work with him. I did a couple times with my uncle, who his middle son that also worked with him. He taught me a few things that I was able to actually put into practice.
Yeah, take advantage of those with your grandfather, because my grandfather was a master craftsman, but we didn't get along because of his racist attitudes, and I couldn't even be standing in the same room with him sometimes. But the work he would do was amazing. I really wish I could have got past that barrier to learn from him. So jump on it when you can.
I'm doing my best to, for sure.
Yeah, cool.
Actually, if anyone's seen some of my videos, that pole saw that I use, that's actually his, that he gave to me to use.
Cool.
That Irwin pole saw, that was his that he used.
Hey, how many power tools do you have? The videos I watched of you, man, you had that pull saw. You were just going to town on stuff with it, and I didn't see. Yeah. I saw you had a table saw, maybe a drill.
I can count the number of power tools that I have on my hand here. I have a hand drill, and only just recently a belt sander, and I have a Dremel now.
Oh,
So you're slowly becoming what I want to call a digital woodworker, because to me, a person that uses hand tools is an analog woodworker versus a digital woodworker uses a CNC or electric tools and stuff. Which is your favorite, though? I mean, which do you like to do the most?
I haven't had any experience with like the 3D printing or the CNC machines, and I really don't have the ability to use that. I actually enjoy more using the hand tools because it just works better in my space. I don't have to worry about power. I can learn the techniques a lot better, and I enjoy learning the hand techniques to be able to carve something out or actually get the right joint. So I actually enjoy hand tools a lot more. My favorite tool by far probably has to be that pole saw. Just how effective it is, and like Jim was saying, I can just go to town and it cuts through wood pretty well. I'm slowly collecting more and more tools as I go along, so I get it's hard to find space for all of them sometimes at the rate that I'm going. I try not to buy any more than I need at one time or for any specific project, but I'm trying not to do too much with the power tools. I work out on my patio at my apartment right now, so I don't have a power source out there, so I run an extension cable from the inside of my apartment outside to be able to run any like the Dremel or the belt sander. So, and also I don't like to make too much noise in the neighborhood too, even though like most of the time when I'm working, everyone's at work or like there's the school children on the other side. It doesn't really bother anybody. But if I have to do anything, like if I have to do it at night, I prefer hand tools because they make a lot less noise.
Certainly, nothing wrong with that either. By the way, in fact, I was going to ask you what your favorite tool was, and you said the pole saw, which honestly, that's probably going to be the next tool that I purchase. And I'm kind of a digital woodworker myself, but I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool that, you know, the way it cuts and stuff.
Oh yeah, the pole saw, when you pull back, I feel like you get a much better cut than trying to push, because you can actually use your full body weight, and you know you actually can cut faster. That I've found when you're doing the pole saw, I get much cleaner cuts. The only thing that I don't like about it is that sometimes it has a tendency to veer if you're not like paying attention and you're going a little too fast. So I have another Japanese saw that's a pole saw called a Dozuki, and that has a metal spine, a reinforced spine. So it has a metal bar going up the spine that helps keep it straight. I like using that one too for straight cuts, for smaller, smooth straight cuts.
Cool. So what's going to be your next tool that you're going to purchase?
The next one that I'm going to purchase, that's a tough one.
Just wondered.
I actually got another saw, a miter box saw, because I'm going to use that in the next video that I'm making, which is going to be an outdoor bench. And so if I had to choose, maybe a drill press, a hand drill press stand, or I'm probably saying that, butchering that probably a lot.
I'm sorry, there are drill presses that you can put a drill in.
Yes, exactly. That's what I want to get next. So I can use my my little hand drill that I have there, and I actually have a quartered one that I got from my uncle that I want to be able to put into that to use as a drill press.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're fairly inexpensive. They're like $50 or less.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah. And they work quite well. They make one that I would love to have that has the base is changeable to the point that you can put a arch type base so that you can actually put it on a post or something that's like and drill on the post, a round post. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of them. They have the adjustable angle on them too, which is really nice.
Yep.
Really what I'm looking for, because I want to attach it to a baseboard so I can kind of lift the whole thing up, and then I can put whatever piece or project that I'm working on. I can just drill straight down, make a clean hole, like either with a Forstner bit or a hole saw or just, a regular drill bit to be able to get it in there. But they are, I like that they have the different angles that you can drill at, and they make like a regular hand drill into a drill press that I enjoy. I like that multi-function of that.
Hey, Jacob, Aussie asked if you, when you're doing stuff with resin, and I saw you use some resin on that guitar stand that you made, which was kind of cool. He said, do you have any trouble with bubbles? Because he doesn't see you using any kind of a pressure pot or a heat gun or anything like that.
Yes, I do run into trouble with bubbles because I don't have a pressure pot or a vacuum chamber. I'm actually looking into making my own with that for smaller projects. For a larger piece like that, it wouldn't really be ideal. I don't think that would even fit into like one of the paint can pressure pots that a lot of people like to make. But what I do is I do use a torch to be able to get as many as the bubbles out, and I kind of watch it. I stand there and watch it for a solid 30 minutes, I want to say, to try and get as many of the bubbles out as I can. But when you're working without a pressure pot or a vacuum chamber, bubbles are kind of an inevitability. They're going to happen. You just kind of try and manage them as best you can. The other solution that I'm looking into is getting an epoxy with a longer cure time, and that would allow more of the air bubbles to rise up. I also sometimes I'm pretty rushed with my projects. I don't seal the wood as properly as I should. So all the pores from in the wood will, have gas and air trapped in them, and they all release up. Because what you're supposed to do is seal it first with a coat of epoxy, and then you lay on your, top coat and other layers that you're putting in. Most of the time, by the time that I get to it, not all the time, but, I usually don't have that time to spend for to seal it properly, because I do these on the weekend when I have a chance. I trying to get the project done so I can get the video done and get it up and out there.
Cool.
Yeah, we had a guy in our woodworking club did a live edge pour for a coffee table.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually took a class down in Sarasota. There's a here in Florida there, and down in Sarasota there is a woodworking company. They sell basically all kind of specialty woods. They even sell bowl blanks and stuff of every kind of wood imaginable, and every kind and every size. But anyway, he took a class down there, and he said that was one of the things they talked about, that you really have, like, especially if you're doing a live edge pour, you really have to seal those edges, because the air coming out of the wood will actually come into the epoxy and make it even worse than what it was natural. And I really never thought about that, but it makes sense.
Yeah. When you think about it, especially for like a softer wood, if you're using like pine or something with a really large grain, it can be notorious. It can be really a pain to deal with. I'm trying to get better at that as I do it. But yeah, it can be trouble with the bubbles. That's probably the biggest main issue that anyone that works with epoxy resin has to deal with, is the bubbles.
The sawdust wooden ring experiment you made, that was pretty cool. How are the rings holding up?
Thank you, first off. The rings, I was disappointed. I was sad about that the wood glue didn't actually work. And I think what happened there is because only the top cured, and that's the only part that was exposed to the air. If maybe I put a blow gun in there, blow dryer, or maybe a heat gun, it might have pushed the air in there and had it set and cured. So that didn't work. I was kind of thinking, because if you make like a kind of DIY wood putty with wood glue and sawdust, or like wood filler to be able to do it like that, I was kind of thinking along the same lines that would work like that, but it really didn't pan out too well. The CA glue one, that one really kind of broke my heart, because it worked. It came out of the mold. The first one came out of the mold beautifully, and it was solid. I could hold it. I was pressing on it with a fair amount of pressure. It was holding up, And then as I was sanding it on my sanding block, it kind of just crumbled into oblivion. And I tried redoing that 2 more times. And the second time, same thing. I was sanding it. I actually got that one all the way to the drill. You saw me spinning it on there to get into finish sanding, and that one blew apart. And then the third one actually stuck inside the silicone mold. So I had to just toss that one away. But it was pretty nice. It was very porous. It wasn't solid like the epoxy ring, where every nook and cranny was filled. But it was. I wanted to see how it would have turned out if I actually got to be able to put the last finish on there.
How long did I didn't watch the entire video because there was time constraints, but how long did you let all those things dry, like the CA glue, dry before you tried to sand it?
The CA glue, I let it dry for about 10 minutes before I took it out of the mold itself. The first one, I want to say, I let it dry overnight, and I started that the next day.
Obviously, you letting it wait overnight on that one didn't make a difference.
No, it didn't make a difference. And with the same thing with the wood glue, I let that go overnight to see if it would set up. That didn't work. The epoxy, I have to let.
Yeah, that you have to. I was just curious because everything has to kind of a cure time, and especially I know CA glue dries fast, but in the same aspect, I've had to let stuff sit overnight. I filled a few cracks and stuff I've made, like my garlic crush.
You put CA glue on your garlic?
No, on my garlic press or whatever you want. What do you call that damn thing when you crush up your garlic?
It's a garlic press. Yeah.
Garlic press. Yeah. It split after a while, and I filled that crack with CA glue. And I did notice that I had to let that sit for like 24 hours before I could do anything with it, because as thick as it was, it just, even though it was CA glue, it didn't want to set.
Yeah.
But if you let that ring sit for 24 hours, well, hell, that would have been cured for sure.
Yeah. Jacob, do you think the color material that you put inside the glue was maybe made it a little bit more brittle?
The kind of material you mean, or the? I
kind of glanced at the ring video. I didn't really go through it thoroughly, but didn't you add some coloring powder to it, or?
No, that's all sawdust. That's exotic.
Okay, well, so then the sawdust, do you think the sawdust may have made it a little more brittle and the glue couldn't hold together like it should?
It's possible, and it's probably what happened. But that's the reason why I wanted to try it, because I wasn't really sure. I was curious to see how it would hold up, if I could put the CA glue and put it on there with the fine sawdust, and for it to become a viable wood ring. So I wanted to see. What my thought process was, that because the sawdust is so fine, I would pack it in there tight enough.
Right.
That it would be tight enough to where that the CA glue would soak into there and bond it all together fairly solid. That's what my thinking was behind it. Probably right that it made it a little bit brittle. It's not like binding two solid pieces together to where the only thing that fails is that joint where the glue is, because the whole thing is the glue and the sawdust all together. So it probably had small little stress fractures or like points of failure in there from being made of sawdust. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to try it.
Hey, Jake.
The color on that sawdust, it was sawdust from Purple Heart and Paddock. So that's why it had that reddish purple red color to it.
Okay.
On that video, Jacob, I went ahead and put a link to one of our community members, to Know What Mom Knows. Last year or the year before, man, time's just running together. She started experimenting with a product that she calls Sawdusto, And I have actually worked with it a little bit, and the stuff is rock solid and can also be flexible. And I don't know, she's got the formula on that video that I posted on the link. You might want to look at it. I don't know how good it would work or how good it wouldn't, but it's worth a try, you know. But
Yeah,
it's
for
using
sure.
sawdust. And
All
it's
right, cool.
totally edible. No, it's not totally edible. It's using all products that are edible, though.
Well,
It's
I
an
mean-
all-natural glue that
Yeah, thank you. You shouldn't need it at home. That's what I'm trying to
Well,
say.
I'm sure it's very eatable, but I'm not sure if you would really want to. You might be able to get it into getting it out might be a different issue.
I'll try anything once, by the way.
It's a lot like hardtack, isn't it, Al?
I don't know. Because she used silicone molds, and you were using a silicone mold, right?
Yeah.
So it would come off. I think it would come off fine.
Yeah, it comes out of the silicone molds fine. It's an all-natural glue recipe that she has, and there's two formulations of it. One is for the flexible, and one is for the non-flexible.
Yeah. I made the flexible, and I messed the formula up, and it actually became harder and was really hard and was really, really good. I just made a little thin piece of it. So from what I've seen of it, it's pretty cool. And just I went on to something else, I guess.
All right, actually, I'll check that out. What did you say you posted a link on the video?
On the video, as Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop, I put the URL to Know What Mom Knows.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I'll definitely go check that out, because if it works like that, even the flexible, or maybe I'll try both. I feel like the hard would be nice. You know, it would be nice soldering, and the flexible might work out really well too with the sawdust. It'd be nice to be able to get it on and off your ring finger easily.
Right.
Work. So that's another video.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Al.
You're welcome. Tell him.
Get to know Mom. She makes good candy too.
He does. She does. Tell
Brownies.
her, Al,
She's great at brownies. Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Tell her, Al.
Use shellac. I'm a big fan of shellac.
Tell her Al 4T sent you.
Absolutely.
Hey, Jacob, we've had like literally hundreds of people, well, maybe just one and me, are wanting to know about that mug that you've got. Did you make that, or is it,
No,
Aussie, if we don't talk about this, Aussie's going to just blow up down in Australia about it.
This mug, actually, I got at a pirate festival that we have down here in South Florida in Boynton Beach, where I'm from. And the man that makes this, he's a local guy called Celtic Ohm, and he was there. He sells these mugs. This one is poplar, I want to say mahogany. Yeah, poplar and mahogany. He's made stuff out of Purple Heart and all sorts of different kinds of woods and styles of mugs here. So I got this from him just because I just appreciated the craftsmanship so much. I had to give me one. I use it every day.
How did he finish the inside of it?
Epoxy.
Epoxy?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. There you go, Aussie.
Yep, Aussie, we did you a favor and found out that he didn't make the mug.
Yeah. I'm not that skilled yet.
The
I've made a
key
lot
word
of
is
things
yet.
so far.
Keyword is yet.
Yet.
Not yet,
Yeah.
exactly.
He could be corrupted to do that.
I want to try my hand at one eventually. One of these days. I have a long list of ideas that I want to get done and try my hand at. That's in there, but it's finding time to get to all of them.
So you're
James Parker was like wanting to know.
That's
You live in Florida, and so yes, he lives in South Florida. Where you live?
I live in Deerfield Beach, Florida, right now,
Deerfield.
and that's if you've heard of Fort Lauderdale or Boca. That's smack in the middle between.
Is it spring break down there right now?
Yes, it is. It's horrible.
it's horrible.
I'm not a fan.
So Jacob, I want to do this to lead into that burnt wood thing that you do, and I'd really like you to explain it a lot. But the first video of yours I saw were for the nunchucks.
Yes.
And I just want to know, guy to guy, when you first made those things and you look at them and go, okay, I'm really cool with these things. Did you whack yourself in the nads or didn't you?
I have not whacked myself.
You've not done that? Okay.
Yeah.
Could you
I'm-
explain that burnt wood thing for us though? Because that's
Yeah,
we were
absolutely.
talking about it a little bit before the show, and it's actually pretty fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the technique itself, the original word for it is yakisugi, which translates to burnt cypress or burnt cedar. Over here, we know it as shoshugiban. So it's a Japanese technique where you burn the wood to preserve it. Helps to make it fireproof, waterproof, and bug resistant to bugs, and makes it last a lot longer, and also gives it a really cool look. I like it because it has all those properties that help make the wood last longer, and it also is very beautiful. You can on softer grains, you can torch it to bring out the grain of the wood, and you can also torch it very heavily. And you brush that to get a very interesting texture to the wood. Another channel who he likes to do this a lot as well is called Dad Build Dad, and he does this a lot too. He does carvings and stuff like this, but I recently started getting into him. He does a lot of really cool projects that inspires me a lot to do more with mine. But there's 3 different levels of charring that you can do. I'm trying to remember now the video that I made. It's Pika Pika, which is that light charring that just brings out the grain, and Gendai, and which is where you char it a little bit heavier and brush it, where you get that nice like 3-dimensional figuring and those hills and valleys from brushing away the soft grain, and it leaves the harder grain more raised. And then Suyaki is where you get that alligator scaling. And that one is what I did with the guitar stand. I left it like that with the alligator scaling, and then I filled in the cracks with mica powder. So I like it. It's just very fascinating how you can get so many dimensions with just fire. You just add fire to wood, and you get beautiful texturing, you get wonderful colors. You can get so many different things going on with just a piece of wood and fire. So
I thought that texturing thing plus the color that you put on it was kind of cool. Is that just regular like pigment powder that you put on there, or?
That was just regular mica powder. That was a red, a blue. Actually, no, I did a blue, a green, and a yellow. And yeah, that's just regular mica powder that I filled in the cracks, and then I, very carefully and gently, that I didn't have time to put the couple 2-3 hours that I spent brushing it off the top to get it just right off of the top, because it'll kind of seep into all those pores. And I actually learned that one from another channel that I watch called Inspire Woodworking. He likes that same kind of stuff too, of Shoshugiban. And I saw that he did that. I'm like, let me give that a try. And as a friend of mine, we've been watching each other's channel from day one. His name is Michael Allen, and his channel is called Pot's Voice. He does guitar covers and music and some comedy skits too. And we've known each other the whole time. We've both been on YouTube, so we always collab. He lets me use some of his music in my videos, and I've sent him things like the wooden knife that I built. So it was Christmas not too long ago, so I wanted to do something nice for him, and I thought, let me build him a guitar stand. He's a musician. He has a ton of guitars, so I'm pretty sure he'd be able to use this. And it just gave me an excuse to burn more wood and different things.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm chuckling because we need more excuse to burn more wood and to make more sawdust. That's really what came to mind. I need an excuse to make more sawdust, but burning wood is cool too.
Thank you. Actually, the whole sawdust thing, I was trying to think of what's something that a lot of woodworking shops have that maybe is underutilized a little bit. So I was thinking, I could do something with sawdust. try and build on that idea a little bit more. I thought that was a cool idea.
By the way, the sawdusto, that's the premise behind Shelley's messing around with sawdusto. I'm pretty certain that it's everywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like Super Chicken.
Luanna Pierce said the guitar stand you made for your buddy is nice.
Thank you.
Aussie man. Did you like Melbourne, Australia? Australia. I can't even say it. Did you like
I'm looking at it here. Melbourne, Australia.
Doesn't have to be a regular name, does it?
Australia? I'm from the land down under, Australia.
I'm from the
Victoria Market, and I used to sell stuff there. So
yes, Australia was beautiful, and Melbourne was awesome. Picture like New York City, but like stretch it out like 100 miles further. You find anything over there. And yeah, the Victoria Market was incredible. Just seeing all the different like produce, fruits and vegetables, meats, cheeses, and then you go behind all that and there's a bunch of people selling like small crafts and other things that he probably saw in the video. There was this guy from New Zealand, Maori, and he had all these carving the hooks carved out of bone and wood, and so that was really cool. I really enjoyed seeing that, and so I actually got one of the big ones, big Maori hooks, and that's hanging on my wall up here now. And I got one of the bone hook necklaces from my uncle who does airbrush art. So I figured that he would appreciate that. But yeah, it was beautiful over there. Just the people, the food over there is like you can get food from every corner of the world. Ramen, like we were talking about earlier, and so many different Asian flavors over there, just in the central business district that's there. And then you expand out. There's Somalian, Afghani, Israeli, Greek, Italian. There's every kind of food you can think of. It was wonderful. The people were really great. Just a whole different world. I really enjoyed it.
okay. Well, we're rocking down to about 7 or 8 minutes left. So if you've got any more questions for Jacob, now's the time to get them in.
I think we need a woodshop confession from Jacob.
Yes.
Although he does not have power tools and he can't be that bad, I think we still need
Well,
one.
he could
from
saw
him,
his
though.
finger off with that bow saw.
Yeah, it's got like a
watching that. I think that, what did you call that? A bow saw?
A pole saw. Yeah,
pole saw.
Yeah.
You're talking about the little one with the looks square.
Isn't it like a Japanese saw? Isn't it also called a Japanese saw?
Yeah. It's a Japanese style saw. This one's obviously made by Irwin, but the style is Japanese.
Yeah. Okay.
I draw from Japanese joinery and woodworking as well, because I enjoy the craftsmanship with that as well. You might not have figured it out, but Japanese culture fascinates me to no end.
Really, we couldn't tell. It's totally foreign to us that you would, like that Japanese style. Oh, Luanna said, don't forget the giveaway either, too, Russ.
Yeah. Hey, I got a timer for 15 seconds. 11, 10, 9, 8.
All right, Jacob, do you have any stories to tell us as far as Woodshop Confession, as far as anything to deal with blood or whatever in the shop? What we're doing is
has to include blood.
Actually, yes. I just one came to mind. I forget the exact project, but I had this Brad Point drill bit, and I was drilling into a piece of wood.
Oh, don't use cuss words. Go ahead. There's a thing behind that I have to tell you. Go ahead.
So I was drilling into this piece of wood, and I must have torqued it really good because that bit snapped in half and cut into my thumb pretty good. Yeah, I wasn't wearing gloves at the time because I didn't think that I needed to. So yeah, it gouged me pretty good. But
The bit itself broke?
And I kept looking. Yeah, the drill itself, the drill bit itself snapped.
What kind of wood was it?
Obviously hardwood.
Yeah.
I think it was teak, but also it might have something to do with the drill bit was from Harbor Freight. But
Come on.
that never
Teak
happened.
wood versus a Harbor Freight drill bit. I'm going to go with the wood.
Yeah, no kidding. Wood wins every time.
Gotta be the wood.
What I was saying is, I had a friend of mine who was on here, and we tried to keep it PG-13 on the show, and
Ish.
yeah, PG-13. Anyway, he kind of drops the F-bomb every once in a while. Well, a lot. But anyway, so he was talking about he went to drill into a piece of wood, and it was a brand new drill bit, and it went right through the wood into the palm of his hand.
Oh,
Was that Patrick?
But when but when he said it, he said, and it went right through the wood into my beeping hand.
Oh, that was Mike Fulton then, right?
Yeah, Fulton.
Okay. It was either Patrick or Mike
Call him
Fulton.
out, Tim. Call him out.
Hey,
He dropped the
Made a
F-bomb,
spade.
I mean, quite nicely. So,
I'm sure there's some powerful emotions attached to that. So
Yeah.
I can
oh yeah.
understand.
All right. So yes, we don't want to do that before we get off here, and we're rocking down to time. We're going to do the giveaway. So I have a little something here, and this is first off. Let me show you what we're going to be giving away. I haven't given away one of these in a while.
a red box.
Yep, a fast cap 2P10 kit.
I just bought a ton of glue too. Darn it.
Yep. So if that's what the prize is, and you're going to send.
I'm a fan.
Yep. So here's the question that you need to answer. In the subject line, put today's date giveaway. So it would be March 7th, 2020 giveaway. That's what goes in the subject line. So I'll be able to distinguish it. Usually I delete once the winner is picked. I usually delete all the emails anyway. Otherwise, my email box would be overflowing. Anyway, the question is, who made this for me? What's his name? And
Crap.
episode
Not really.
number. He was on one of my shows, so I need the season and the episode number and his name. Who made this for me?
Well, I'm out.
If you want to know what it is, it's actually a Japanese cherry blossom.
Oh, all right, great.
Oh, well, that narrows it down.
Yeah, it's an inlay of the inlay he did.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
That inlay stuff like that, I just completely over my head.
But yeah, he made this for me, and then sent it. I think this was the one he did on the show, and then he sent it to me, mailed it to me. So that's what you need to his name, the episode, and the season. Like it'll be season 40, episode 20, whatever it is, and then send that to contest@simplywoodencreations.com. And I will pick a winner, and we'll send you.
Damn, we have a lot of shows to pick through.
I knew that one's going to be a good one. That one's going to be a good one. So send it to contest@simplywoodencreations.com if you would like to try to win the Fast Cap 2P10 kit.
They're asking if you can solo that shot so that they can see it on their phones.
What?
The one of the cherry blossom.
That's.
But they want you to solo it.
What do you mean solo? I don't understand what you mean.
You be the only one, not the whole gallery up.
Yeah, show it on the screen.
Oh,
Screen save.
Send it to contest@simplywoodencreations.com.
Yes.
The de facto spot to send your contest to.
Yes. And in the subject line, put today's date giveaway, March 7th, 2020. Then in the body of the message, who made this for Russ, the name of the person that made it, and the season and the episode. and it was a Japanese cherry blossom.
Dang, Al, you type faster than anybody on this
Damn,
panel. You know
really?
that? I'm like impressed.
Yeah, that is actually an inlay.
Well, what is it inlay?
Yeah, for some, all right, everybody's going to have, because it's not locking on to me, even though I have double clicked on my.
There, it did now for a while.
Yeah.
It didn't on our pan there.
So all y'all are going to have to, you talking, Dixon, ain't helping. So everybody will be going,
I hear him.
see, you're still talking. And this is what he made for me. And this is a actual inlay. You can see this was hand done with a router. I can give that away. Hand done with a router. And he actually did an entire bed headboard and I believe the foot rail for his daughter with these Japanese cherry blossoms in it.
I want to change my answer for the next power tool I want.
So yeah.
That was one of my favorite shows too.
Mm-hmm. One of
Damn it.
mine too. It actually broke the rules of the hour show. We used to try to keep the show to an hour, and he was going and doing so good that he was like, "Oh, I ain't going to be able to finish." I'm like, "Keep going. Don't worry about it. We're involved in this. We'll stay all night if it takes it." So, yep.
Aussie wants him back on the show.
Yeah, I'd like to have him back on the show. Huh?
I said, I'd love to be back if you guys want me. I'm not sure how often Saturday nights will work out, but if I can sing it, I'd love to be back.
Yeah. Any more questions for Jacob out there in the YouTube chat? I haven't seen anybody post one over in the Facebook chat. Everybody's been saying hello to each other. Jim Sinicola, Eric Meyer is over on Facebook along with all the others. And then we have I Rescue Mini Pins.
Min Pins.
Min
That's
Pins.
Sid. That's Sid.
Sid, yeah, he's over on Twitch. And then we have tons of people in the chat. Aussie Man's still here with us. Luana Pierce. Dave Hart. All y'all are still with us. Jim Dockrell. Oh, Lord. He's in the shop. He's in the house. So that's not good when Jim's in there.
So on Facebook, are you on Simply Wooden Creations or are you on Worldwide?
I'm on Simply Wooden Creations.
Okay. So this isn't being streamed on anywhere but Simply Wooden Creations.
Yes, just Simply Wooden Creations.
Yeah,
Hey, Jacob, our Australian buddy, wants to know what your next project is.
The next project that I'm working on is an outdoor bench. That one will definitely have some Sushuki-ban in it. I have planned on it, and it's going to utilize a miter box. So I have one, and I just got a new miter box saw that, because I didn't have one that was the correct wide enough, or long enough, I should say, the correct depth for the box that I got. So I'm going to be utilizing that in the next project that I'm going to do.
So that one you use, does it have a spine on the back of it to keep it kind of rigid?
Keep it straight, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
okay.
There
you go, Aussie.
A lot of projects that I like to make, they're either because they're practical or just because I think they're cool.
Russell, they're asking in the chat, how long do they have to submit the answer to the question?
Yeah, Dave Hart says, when do we need? You need to start submitting the answer right now. I mean, and I'm going to hold the it open until Sunday at midnight because I have some people from in foreign countries that don't watch this until tomorrow.
Which midnight? Eastern midnight?
Eastern Standard Time, midnight Eastern Standard Time on Sunday.
And remind everybody to move their clocks up an hour.
Yep.
So you really have an hour less.
Yeah. Yes.
Never mind.
Spring forward and fall back. So we're in spring forward motion. So
Man, this is my favorite night of the whole year.
really, I don't worry about it because we don't even have any clocks anymore in the bedroom. We use the cable box, and I don't have to set that because it changes the time on its own. So I ain't got to set that. Yeah, we got rid of.
Did you get rid of them because she was timing you or what?
No, it's timeless, Brenda. It's timeless.
There's I could actually go longer than 24 hours, and all the clocks are only 24 hours. So
yeah.
Oh.
Anyway,
What's that? Even a stopped clock is right twice a day.
That's true. But we had a battery operated clock in there, and it quit working. And if I wake up during the middle of the night, I just reach over and grab my phone and touch my phone. My phone comes on, like the times pops up there. And then, like I said, our cable box our TV is like at the end of our bed in the room.
And it's blinking 12 o'clock, right?
And the cable time changes on its own. It's set. The cable company does that. So all I got to do is just like look, and I can see the time down there. So we don't need a clock.
Aussie Man brought up in the chat that Jacob might want to put an entry into the palette challenge when you have it, Russ.
Yes.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
That'd be great.
That to me a little bit. I'd be curious about that.
Yeah, it comes. I believe the palette challenge is in July.
A lot of fun.
Yep. And this year we'll also have the Whirligig Wars, but the Whirligig Wars usually runs in June, but I'm moving it this year to either May or April of this year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
with
too
the
much.
palette challenge, it has to be strictly made out of a palette, and
You can use it. Excuse me. The majority of it, I don't remember what the percentage is. I think I said 80 or 90%. Anyway, all the wood part has to be made out of the pallet. You can use screws, you can use hinges, you can use knobs for drawers and stuff like that. But all the wood has to be pallet wood.
okay.
So,
Yeah, I think I can give that a try.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Try it.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
And then, like I said, the Whirligig Wars, I was doing the Whirligig Wars has been in June, and July thing was just too much back to back. So I'm going to either move it to April or May. I haven't figured out which one it's going to be, but I got to I think I'm going to move it to May of this year. I'm pretty sure. So that'll give me May is a Whirligig Wars. Then I'm off. June, then July is the palette challenge. Then I'm off, and then October is a scroll saw challenge. So
My Whirligig duck lost a wing yesterday in the wind.
it did.
I gotta get out there and put it back on. Yeah.
It's been really, really windy today outside. I mean, really windy. So
I think the squirrels are gonna get ticked off at me if I don't put it back on.
Maple Tree Studios just showed up, and Maple Tree Studios says, "Evening, folks. Evening." Unfortunately, we're fixing to get off the show. So
maybe with the time change, they can come in at the right time.
yeah, maybe. All right, guys, it's been great. Thank you, Jacob, for being on tonight. I appreciate it very much. And guys, has anybody put his link into the chat out there?
Yes.
Okay.
Brenda's got it probably again. Brenda, put it out there, Brenda.
Okay. And definitely go by and check Jacob's channel out and give him some channel love and give him some thumbs up on some of his videos and subscribe to him.
There's a lot of cool stuff on his channel about that, about wood burning and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time tonight by my throat, that little tickle in the back of my throat, because my wife, not my wife wasn't laughing because she's seen me do it before, but yeah, she sees me do it all the time. Matter of fact.
Well, we'll laugh at you. Go ahead and do what you want.
Anyway, since we've gone down this path, it seems. Anyway, so I actually have gotten where I wear masks when I do the yard work, especially this time of the year where it's really dry. We don't have a lot of rain. It's really difficult because every time the last few years, every time I did the yard work, when it was like this, I'd get a sinus infection. So my son come over, Cody, today, and he was like, see me out there in the yard with him. He says, don't tell me you're worried about catching the coronavirus in your own front yard. I'm like, no. I have to wear this out here when I'm doing yard work. Otherwise, especially mowing and bagging, because that creates a lot of dust. So,
Sure does.
and it's got my throat tonight all in have that little tickle in the back of my throat, which that's usually a sign of a sinus infection. I hope I don't get
or maybe an allergic reaction. Like I think happens to me with cedar.
Brenda says
I have to wear a mask.
Yeah, Brenda says I wear a mask so people won't recognize me. How could you not recognize me even with a mask on? I mean, come on, give me a break.
With all of this hanging out of the bottom.
Yeah. Hey, anybody know what a beard gnome is?
I've got two of them here.
A beard gnome?
This one.
A beard gnome.
I got two beard
My wife
gnomes
was
here.
her friend got one for her husband, and he wears it. And I'm like, I ain't wearing. It's you do your beard up, and it's a little clip that goes in your beard, and it has a little gnome on it.
Oh no, that's like a ponytail hipster dude except you did it on your beard.
Yeah, I ain't doing that.
No, if you start doing that, I'm not going on the trip.
I'm not doing that. You don't have to worry about it.
I don't know him.
He's gonna do it on a cruise.
No, we're not gonna have a beard ponytail on a cruise. That's gonna be
the first thing I said. I looked at her and said, that ain't happening. I don't think.
Good. Okay.
All right.
Jacob's channel is over on Twitch also.
Okay, thank you very much.
Please go out there and subscribe to him, people.
Aussie Man says, down under there is no toilet paper in the shops because of the virus. I don't know how it is related. What is the toilet paper thing? Is because of your sneezing? Or?
That should have nothing to do with it.
I know.
They're afraid you're going to get locked in your house for 2 weeks.
I didn't know the coronavirus gave you the runs.
Yeah, I don't understand the toilet paper either.
Because you're going to get locked in your house for 2 weeks.
That's right.
Or 3 weeks. Yeah.
Well,
they're already telling us at work that we should take our laptops home all the time.
In Florida, if you run out of toilet paper, you just go out on the tree and grab some moss.
And you guys don't have 2 weeks of toilet paper at your house?
Yeah.
We buy a month's supply. We buy it from Sam's and buy a month's supply because it's cheaper.
You keep doing that moss thing, Russ. We're about toilet paper up here up north.
I think people are just overreacting about this whole thing.
Yeah, they are.
I agree.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you very much, Jacob, again for being on. I appreciate it so very much. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. Thank you,
Great, Jacob.
Al. Thank you, Dixon. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Brenda, and thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Indeed.
Adios.
And thank you all.
No, there's another Al here.
And thank you, Al.
Al, I got the salute.
Yes, you did.
I did say Al.
Jacob did the Vulcan salute.
Oh, he did the
That's
Vulcan.
what it was.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, so thank all y'all for
brownie
being out there
points
in the chat. I appreciate it so very much. All y'all are like awesome men here week to week. Lana Pierce is out there. James Parker, Jim Dockrell. I mean, it just goes on and on. Thank all y'all for being out there in the chat. Ken McCrory, once again, nice job on that eagle that you did from my pattern. On Facebook, we've had Michael Anthony Murray joined us. Unfortunately, Michael, we're closing it out. Lyra Hodges, Eric Meyer, Jim Sinicola. I hope I'm saying that right. Angela Corliss has been on here. Hans Meyer. All those people have been over on Facebook. Thank you so very much. And then let's not forget about Twitch.
Yes.
And I Rescue Mini Pins has been over there on Twitch.
Yeah. I Rescue Min Pins, and actually Chris Nealon was over there also. Too.
Oh, he was too? Okay, cool.
Really?
Yes.
So great. All right. There's only one thing we got left to do, and that is if you're too busy to get out in your shop and make some sawdust, you're just too darn busy. Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust. all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody.
Not
Thank
everyone.
All right, boys and
Night,
girls.
y'all.
Finish up your drinks. And remember, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
You're right, Chris. You're right.
But we